Hey, it's Daniel, and welcome to the Better Leaders, Better Schools YouTube channel, a channel for ruckus makers, those out-of-the-box leaders making change happen in education. In today's video, I'm going to reveal one tactic that you can use to build an ideal school culture. So why does an ideal culture even matter? If you think about it, when a culture is strong, right? When it's positive, when people are feeling connected, then they have the ability to do their best work. And if your staff is doing the best work possible, then your kids are gonna benefit, right? Your parents are gonna benefit. The community is gonna benefit. That's why the tagline at Better Leaders, Better Schools is everybody wins when a leader gets better. Everybody wins when you, ruckus maker, get better. So having an ideal culture is absolutely essential to school success. Think about it. If you have two schools, maybe they're even on the same street, and school A has a place that just has a buzz and excitement, electricity around it, and school B is just doing things like everybody else does, right? Which school would you want to be a part of? It's the one with the positive, exciting, engaging culture. And so how do you build it? A lot of times schools go about building culture in the wrong way. And it's just, that's the knowledge that's out there. Right? If you Google how to build school culture, if you're a part of some private Facebook groups or maybe you're on a Twitter chat, what you're gonna find is all the same thing. You're gonna find stuff about rah-rah, right? Having a t-shirt, having the hat, having the school swag. Something else that you're gonna see is the snack cart. Snack cart is always a great thing to do in terms of showing love and building relationships with your school staff. But is it a major culture builder? I don't think so. And then there's, team building activities, wacky things that you do throughout the school year. Maybe it's for the 100 days of school, you're dressing up as a 100-year-old. Maybe it's back in the 80s day, could be the school mascot, whatever. There's a lot of fun things we do, but does that really move the needle when it comes to culture? I think it's okay, but I want to reveal one thing you can do and take action on that will build your ideal school culture, and I guarantee it as long as you take action. I believe that everybody has a dream. That's right. So whether it's your leadership team, your teaching staff, the counselors, the custodians, the folks making and preparing food for the kids, everybody that's coming to that school every single day has a dream within them. And I want to assert that you don't know what that dream is, which is the opportunity. So if there was a way, and there is, in which you can not only understand people's different dreams, but take action on them, that is the exact way to build an ideal school culture. Whether it's called a dream list or a bucket list, this is what I'm suggesting. It comes from a book by Matthew Kelly, which is called The Dream Manager. And I love to read. So here's the Dream Manager right here. Matthew Kelly, Dream Manager. Now I won't summarize the entire book, but the idea that he presents is that by knowing the people's dreams on your staff and taking action, helping them achieve those dreams, then you build a world-class culture. And when you have a world-class culture, anything is possible. So how do you get to know your staff's dreams? Well, I would suggest that you model as the leader what your own dream list, or some people call it a bucket list, looks like. Kelly offers, I think it's like 12 different categories. When I started doing this with leaders that I coach, I started adding my own categories as well. And so for the rest of this video, what I want to do is highlight the different categories that you can have within a dream list, bucket list. I'll give an example of one of my own dreams per category. And then the challenge is for you to model that list in front of your staff and encourage them to do the same. Category number one, physical. And so that might be a fitness goal. And for me, the dream that I have is actually to make fitness simple, not to make it complex. So instead of the six-pack abs or below 7-minute mile over 5 miles, I want to just make it fun, make it easy. And I want to move every single day. If I do that, then that's a fitness win. The second category is emotional. And so for me, I want to increase my self-awareness score to greater than 70. There's another great book called Emotional Intelligence 2.0, which I've read with leaders I coach. And in that book, you have practical examples of how to grow your emotional intelligence, whether that's internal or external awareness. And they also have an assessment that gives you a baseline of where you score. When I first took the assessment, I scored a 67 in terms of self-awareness. That's how I had my goal of growing it to over 70. Up next is intellectual. And so one of my goals there is to learn Shona fluently. Shona is a language from a specific group of people in Zimbabwe, and that's the language of my wife. And so of course I want to be able to speak her mother tongue, Tino Tenda. The next category is spiritual. And so one of my goals there is to read The Way of Zen. I've never read that. It's a beautiful book by Alan Watts. And so that's something I want to complete, just to explore. Another category is psychological. And I've come across this philosophy. It's absolutely wild. You gotta check it out. Talking about that you have no head. I see the head on the video, but it's a philosophy. I'd like to explore it more. I'm very interested in it. And so that is one of my psychological goals. Material is another category. I've never owned a home, and so I'm excited to own my first home. That's a dream for me. Professionally, I run a business. I figured out how to generate 6 figures in terms of business revenue. I haven't made $1 million yet in 1 year. And so it'd be interesting to see if I can break that ceiling. Sticking with the $1 million mark, financially, I'd love to save $1 million and from there to gift it to my kids. Creative's another category. And I've been really into making these watercolor postcards and sending them to coaching clients. And I'd like to get really, really good. Like maybe so good that people hang that art in their home. Maybe they even buy it. And so that's a dream of mine. You know, I've mentioned making $1 million in terms of business revenue, saving $1 million. Well, legacy is another category. And if I'm able to be that successful in terms of business and saving, then I want to start a generous scholarship fund for students in need. Probably from schools where I was employed as a teacher and maybe a principal, but that would be an incredible legacy to leave behind. Character is another category. And to be honest, I lose my temper way too frequently. I lost my temper all day today. We're trying to record this stinking video. You don't see it right now. Maybe you don't even believe, but that's a character trait that I need to and want to work on. Travel is another category. As I mentioned, you know, my wife's from Zimbabwe. We haven't been there yet. And so that is absolutely on my bucket list. Family is a category. I'd love to have 2, maybe up to 5 kids. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. Right now, it's just a puppy in the video, but as we increase the family, I'm sure I'll add some babies to the videos as well. I love sports, and so sports is a category, and I want to see the Liverpool Football Club play at Anfield and sing with the whole crowd, "You Never Walk Alone." If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google Liverpool Football Club, Anfield, "Never Walk Alone." It will bring chills up and down your spine. I promise you that. And the final category can be quite easy. It's just miscellaneous. So where do you throw some items, you know, that who knows where they would fit? So for example, somebody that I've really looked up to, I've read most of his books, I've taken his programs, I actually coach and facilitate his program called the Alt MBA. I'd love to meet Seth Godin face to face. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I will at some point, and that's in my dream list. So that's it. Those are some of the categories that you can use in terms of building a dream list and bucket list. Remember, do it yourself first. Model the whole process as I just did to your staff, and then ask them to take action to write their own dreams. Here's what you're gonna find. 1, you're gonna understand the dreams that your people have. And I've been doing this through the group coaching mastermind community that I run. And I've asked the leaders within that community to do their dream list. And it's amazing to see what they put on as dreams. The other thing that you'll see too is that you'll have staff members who've worked with each other maybe even a decade. And if they share their dreams with each other, they're gonna lean in and say, "I never knew that about you," right? And it's just gonna take their relationships to the next level. So I promise you, do a dream list, do it with your staff, take action, help them actually cross things off that list, and you will build your ideal school culture. If you want to check out Matthew Kelly's The Dream Manager, I'll put a link to his book in the description of this video. I also wrote a pretty epic blog post on how bucket lists are a way to build culture within schools. Same content is here, but if you like to read and want to look at it from a different perspective, I'll link it up as well. If you got any value from today's video, and if you think that by taking action on dreams is a great way to build an ideal school culture, then give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss any of the content. And let me end with this. In the comments below, write down a challenge, a question. Maybe it's a fear, right? I told you that I'm gonna bring out-of-the-box ideas to help you develop your leadership skills. I'm sure you've never heard of using dreams or a bucket list to build an ideal school culture. And so you might be hearing this and saying, Danny, I think it would work, but I'm not so sure. Put that I'm not so sure about question or challenge in the comments, and I'll reply back with an answer that'll help you move past that challenge. Until then, it's Daniel Bauer from Better Leaders, Better Schools, and keep making a ruckus.